those parliamentary processes, in a nutshell, would also facilitate what the ANC has already communicated on, which is the recall of the sitting president. So I don't think that there's really an issue there. The ANC participate in that multi-party forum, the Chief Whips Forum, and has already outlined what will happen for SONA, that they will elect a new president by tomorrow. Is it by tomorrow noon?
They're discussing one, yeah.
Yes. I mean, if they don't get an indication that helps, because the IFP did raise that question, they will then move into the election of the president, which will now happen on Friday, according to what they said. And on the very same day, they will do SONA, and that next week they will move to do the budget. So that process, that parliamentary, the ANC has already spoken about that parliamentary process. Actually, as a result, the Treasurer General was already in Parliament today to action and activate the things that the Secretary General spoke about yesterday. You know, I think, Aldrin, your question was around...
how confident are you as a party that eventually when that correspondence comes from the President of the country, that it will say that I resign as the President?
I mean, the fact that he has used the word not defying the party, I think it's only fair. I've always warned us against being preemptive or wanting to throw preemptive strikes, even where it might not necessarily be helpful. Because if he says that I'm not defying the party, it effectively, he understands the discipline of the movement and all of that. And I think it's only fair to grant him that space, allow the statement to come out, while we know that there are also these other processes that are being undertaken.
So are you confident that he will resign as the President of the country?
Well, we have always expressed full confidence in all our members to be disciplined, understand the discipline of the movement, because that is consistent with the oath that all members have taken. You know, having been president of the ANC, there is an oath that guides the conscience of our own members, and we believe that when he said he's not defying, he was effectively speaking in the context of that oath that gets to be taken by members of the African National Congress.
But Mr. Mabe, he says he does not agree with that decision, and he's threatening violence between your members. He's suggesting that your members will come to blows if this decision is carried out. So how can that not worry you?
Well, that's why it was important for us to come and speak to yourselves in this way, so that we could be able to give our understanding of the statement and make sure that we convey that understanding to the general membership of the ANC.
That doesn't answer my question. Are you not worried that your former president is suggesting there will be violence between your members if this decision is carried out?
Well, I can tell you now that any instances or insinuations of violence could come out as a concern. But I think what puts us in a position of comfort is a line that says he is not defying. And I can tell, it was himself who said, when he saw scenes of people fighting outside Lituli House, it really worried him. And without using his direct words, and sought to say, perhaps there is a much better way that needs to be looked at to resolve this. So we are confident as well that, if President Mandela could walk out of prison for 27 years, come back and shake hands with the people who would have jailed him for all those years, and said we need a South Africa that we can coexist black and white. This has been the ethos and values that are guiding members of the ANC to create a non-racial society that is peaceful and all of that. When there were violence in Katlehong and Thokoza just before the 1994 breakthrough, what did the ANC leadership do? It immediately moved to establish something that was called the National Peace Accord, because we believe in a peaceful way of resolving issues. And President Jacob Zuma was himself part of that generation that led these things, including making sure that transition is properly negotiated in this country. So cadres of the ANC love peace. They will do everything else they can in their power to make sure that they protect the national mood and ensure that peace is facilitated.
The decision to institute a motion of no confidence, is that open to negotiation or changing at this stage?
Is that open to?
Will it be
change.
changed at this stage? Are you thinking about reneging on the ANC's decision to initiate a motion of no confidence in the President?
Sorry, before Comrade Pule answers, can we just clarify that the ANC has not initiated a motion of no confidence?
Yes.
So there's a motion of no confidence that is on the table, brought by the EFF, and the ANC will go in there to amend that motion of no confidence and put forward the reasons why the NEC took the decision to recall President Jacob Zuma.
Yes, just to add, so that we can also address a number of questions that you shall have heard from various media outlets on the reasons and all of that, to make sure that there is at least an understanding that the ANC will have applied its mind when it arrived at the decision to recall the President of the Republic.
And the decision
Just
is
one
not
last question.
negotiable.
That decision is not negotiable, by the way. I forgot to say that point, because it's very important to just indicate that the decision on a recall is final. You know, the only other structure really of the ANC that can turn around the decision of the NEC is either the NGC or the National Conference. As it stands now, we have got a decision, and we are doing everything else that we can in our power to make sure that the execution of this decision is done in the most peaceful manner possible.
Final
Yeah,
question.
last thing. Administratively, of course, the Constitution says once a motion of no confidence is passed, then the President and the Minister still have to resign. So has the ANC factored into the fact that even after the motion is passed, the President might still not, be proactive in submitting the resignation letter? And also, in addition to that, we heard earlier on that there was this hope that you could even elect a president tomorrow, but surely that depends on the availability of the Chief Justice, and he can't process that until he's received the letters of resignation from the President and the existing ministers. So I was quite surprised that there was this idea that there could even be an election of president tomorrow, because logistically it just doesn't sound practical.
Well, can I come in?
Okay,
Yes.
really last question.
No, last one. It's Thando Kubera from Eyewitness News. So the president says he's being treated unfairly, he's been victimized. What's your reaction as the ANC? Have you been treating him unfairly?
Let me start with your question, and it's going to be just a small lecture, because I think that I must refer you to 3 sections in the Constitution of the Republic. 102, Section 102 of the Constitution, Section 89 of the Constitution, and Section 237 of the Constitution. So those sections are quite definitive on what needs to happen. The one would deal with the removal of the president. The other one would deal with the motion of no confidence. The other one, which is 237, is what the Chief Justice, the Constitutional Court said that we must then provide steps, or rules for impeachment and all of that. So I'm sure members of Parliament, when they pronounce themselves on other issues, of course, we are not delegated to speak on behalf of Parliament, but these things are written in the Constitution. The Section 102, the Section 89, the Section 237.
Yeah.
So those 3 sections should be able to provide the necessary clarity.
Yeah, but in this case, the EFF has tabled the Section 102 motion.
Yes.
The Constitution there sort of says there's the motion and then there's a process of resignation. And I know that you guys are probably not the best place to do that, because you're not the parliamentary people, but I'm just checking if there's been that conversation, at least internally.
No, I'm sure that in whatever they do in Parliament, I want to believe that these are capable men and women would have best applied their mind to the question that you are raising.
Okay.
The ANC has been having a conversation with President Jacob Zuma. We have had a conversation, and at each and every step of those conversations, we've been issuing statements to try and characterize the engagements. At one point, myself and Kusela here were saying the word fruitful and constructive are becoming so common. We need to be going out and making sure that we file something new, so that there could be this sense that there are developments taking place. So we have had there's been engagements between the president and the officials and all of that. I wouldn't want to go into those. Safe to say that the NEC has got a decision, and the ANC fully believes that there's a disciplined cadre of the organization. President Jacob Zuma will also act to move all of us forward.
Thank you. Thank you very much. No, we're done. Thank you. We gave ENCA a lot of space. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You know this was not a briefing. We just wanted to respond to the developments. Let's all wait for President Zuma to deliver his statement, because now we're going into the realm of conjuncture and speculation, which is unhealthy. Thank you so much.
All right, so not a press briefing, but an opportunity for the press just to engage with the spokesperson of the ANC, Pule Mabe, speaking earlier on, just to clarify some of the things that came out of the President's conversation that we had earlier on, right here on SABC. But we all await that statement later on this evening to give clarity, and Pule Mabe was giving a sense that everybody must toe the line. If you're in the party, you follow the party's rules, and he expects nothing else from the president. So perhaps we'll see the president not defying his leadership, as he said, and issuing a statement later tonight. But we'll cover all of that for you right here. Right, so what we're doing is going across the country, trying to get more reaction, trying to get a sense of how the country is feeling at the moment.